check, check. Man, this chair is loud. Okay, I'm gonna test something out that I don't know if it works or not. Okay, that's good news. That's also good news. Okay. Hello. Oh, I just realized this light's not on. That's really bright, actually. That's better. Yeah, it's me. It does feel a little weird to bleed on camera, but I just cut myself shaving and I wanted to start the stream. So apologies for that. If you do see a little bit of blood, it's not a lot. I dabbed most of it off. I'm gonna bring this down here. Come on now. Is that better? Yeah, it's better. Go offline. I don't like you. You showed up at my fucking stream. Oh god, I love that. It's so funny. I still love that. I still love that so much. I didn't ask about all that. All right. We're gonna do programming today, just because that's what I feel like doing. I did finally figure out how to like properly record VODs without blowing out the file size. What do you mean you got jump scared? Like, I've just been here. I've been here the whole time. Nothing's different. It's the same. Boy, I tell you what. I love that fucking camera. All it is just like, I just like changed that. Like, it's just the normal thing. There's no filter. It's just like, I changed the way that like, it's scaled. I just changed the aspect ratio. I also have a stream deck, so I can like swap between the two of them really quickly. Oh my god, that is really funny. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Woo. Okay. I'm gonna be normal, I promise. I'm gonna turn this volume down on the audio real quick. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do today. I know no one's here right now, so this intro part is mostly, I guess, just for VOD. What I want to do is like, I think people who don't program like don't understand what it takes to do it, and like it's both hard a little bit and not hard a little bit. And I want to show you like from beginning to end, what does it look like to take a piece of software from nothing into something? And it's going to be simple software because we're going to need to be able to do it in like only a couple hours. Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd, Theory. I absolutely like, yeah, for sure. So what I want to do is like, I want this to be like this is how you do it. This is sort of just like if you've never like written a piece of software before, how do you get to a point where you can like put something here? There's not many people here. I have 2 viewers right now. Right? This is like other people might come in later as we like, you know, after we've been on for a while. And I know other people are streaming right now, so maybe when they fall off at like in the later hours, I'll still be here. Not no one is here, but like very few people are here. And that's fine. We just lost a few. Yeah. Not a super popular streamer over here, but that's okay. Not really not chasing fame and fortune with this. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna start by going to just we're gonna switch over to my development view, and we're just gonna jump into it. So because we're doing it in Rust, we're gonna use cargo. I may need to make this bigger. Just make this a little bit bigger so people can see it. Is that big enough? Can you read it? Is that okay? It's so fucking big. It's so much. Like this screen that I have here is actually my full like development screen. So it's like a big, like it's like 27 inches. It's high DPI. I can just see it perfectly in there. It's so bad. I'm gonna just do a new one here and make it slightly bigger. So I'm gonna do cargo new, and we're just gonna call this. I think we can't do side quest. Side. This is no my font. Here's the thing. I actually can like see really well close up, so my fonts are really small, so I can pack as much information into a single screen as possible. I've also thought about doing like sideways screens, so that I can like get the big long view. But it turns out I don't really like doing that. I like to have like normal aspect ratios on both things, and tilted kind of sucks for me. I'm gonna call it SideQuest RS. In Rust, it's normal to do SideQuest RS. So Cargo New is gonna make a new project for us. Actually, I just realized that I made it in the wrong spot. So I put all my stuff in a folder called develop, and we're just gonna build that here. And we're just gonna open that up in VS Code. It's taking a long time. I know it's a big program, but that took longer than I expected. Yes, I trust the authors because it's me. I'm gonna switch back while I type this in. Okay. I'm also going to remove. It's probably created a .git folder. I'm going to remove that for now. I don't actually want to do version control just yet. The only reason I don't want to do that is because I'm streaming this and I have like my personal email set up on here, and I don't want that to be associated. I'm in the middle of building a like a stream capable like GitHub account and all that stuff, but I don't want to like cross the boundary between the two of them. So I already have like I have some of it in progress, but I don't have the entire like machine set up, and I kind of want to have an entire machine like dedicated for it because I work in virtual machines. It makes it really easy. Okay, so that when you do cargo new, it creates a a new package, which is a cargo.toml file, a cargo.lock file, a single source. I won't find your government files and steal your cat. I love calling it a government name, even though it's just like it's my name. Actually, that's funny because like I have a stage name and like I have my stage name and my legal name, and I changed my legal name when I transitioned, but it's really funny that like it's still different from my stage name, which is also new, and they're like related, but it's not really, they're not closely related enough. So it's really, really funny to me that I actually have a government name and then like the name everyone knows me by. And it's not a dead name. Like it's they're both like my actual current names. Yeah, it's for real. Like my driver's license is not what people call me. And it's like technically it's like it's similar, but like my full name on my driver's license is different than the full name I go by everywhere else. Because eventually, like, that name is going to be, like, public information, as I, like, maybe not public information, but, like, if I ever gain any sort of notoriety, like, in music or in streaming somehow, like, I want to be able to have a name that people can use that isn't just necessarily Quest, but I also don't want it to be tied to my legal name because then, you know, I'm doxing myself. And eventually, like, honestly, like, if people know your first and last name, there's only so much they can actually do with it, if you're careful, and I'm pretty careful, especially since I've changed it. Okay, so we're going to use a framework. I'm also going to make this bigger. That might be too much. I think I'll do that. If that's too small for people, hopefully someone will let me know. I'm not going to change my name to Quest for $3 because it takes a lot more than that. It takes like $400 something to change your name. I'm going to be using a framework called Poise. Which is a Discord bot framework built in Rust. I've used it before. I've built like small bots with it. I like it. There are some difficulties with it because it's in Rust. You want to change it so you can stop getting compared to that stupid vampire. I don't know what you're talking about. But that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up the basic bits of the bot. We're going to make our slash commands. We're going to make a slash command and a prefix command, and it's going to be called uptime. It's the most basic thing one of these bots can do. All it does is when the bot starts up, it stores the time it started up. And when it does that, we report that time outward. We just say, yep, we're done and ready. We've been up for this long. To do that, we're going to need to do a couple things. Number one, we need to set the gateway intents. So this is a Discord specific thing. You need to, when you initialize the connection, the bot connection with the backend, you have to tell it what you want to receive at the beginning of that connection. And that's sort of how this gateway works. And like when you're communicating actively with Discord, that's how it's sending information at high speeds because you've told it what you want to receive. We're going to need message content, which is a privileged intent. It just basically means like normally we want to receive everything, but we can be specific if we'd like to. We will need message content because we have to read the message to determine whether or not the message has a prefix. And if the prefix matches, we will interpret that message as a command. So that's something that we're going to set up basically right away. But we're going to start by actually just first kind of implementing this right here. And frankly, copying this just note for note is not a terrible idea. But what I want to do first is I want to like implement all of these things manually so we understand how we got there. So number one, Tokio. Tokio is a async framework. We're going to need that because most of the Discord stuff is async. If not all of it. Some of it gets sent over, so they don't have to do it async. But most of the time when you're doing stuff, it's synchronous. So essentially, we're going to kind of copy this out. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to install Tokio into our package. So cargo add Tokio features full. Why not? English, please. I mean, honestly, this is the simple version. Like, Tokio is an async framework. It just basically means like sometimes when you do an action, you don't necessarily want every part of your code to stop and wait for that to be done. Async is a model by which you can share the load. So while this thing is waiting for like a network response, and it's just waiting on like input from a device, which is like a network card or perhaps like a hard drive or something like that, something else can actually just do computation and like compute a thing, and then that's going to wait for a thing, and then this thing will go, and this will start like thinking about it while this one's just like sitting out here waiting, right? That's what async is, and you need a framework to do that. Tokio is one of them. It's probably the most popular one in Rust. There's a lot that goes into it, and frankly, in Rust, async is not incredibly straightforward. There are a lot of rough edges as it's being like actively developed, but it is ready for production use. I've used it in production. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of this main, we're going to have our... I'm also going to do... I'm okay with this, actually. So we're going to do this syntax here. Oh, it's actually not. And then Tokio main. And that's going to make this function an async function. And as we're going to be watching for compiler errors. So like, for example, this isn't async, and that's a problem. We need this to be async. And the compiler is going to constantly tell us if things are wrong. So we are all the time trying to make the compiler happy. We can leave the compiler unhappy for a little bit. Like while we're typing, it's not going to be happy. But step by step, we want to actually get to a point where the compiler stays happy all the time. Because in Rust, like that's the main tool you want to work with, is the compiler. You want the compiler to agree with you on how the code should work. Because if it doesn't, it won't build your shit and you can't run it. And that's the benefit of Rust, is like, you know before you start that like a ton of things you could have done wrong, you didn't, because it won't let you. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, and actually I'm gonna move this guy over to the side like this, and move this guy over here like this. I wish I could sort of do this a little. Oh, I can. Nice. Okay. So we want to have a Discord token. So let token equals std env var Discord. Oopsie. Discord token. So one of the things we see here, just again, we're starting from scratch. We're assuming like we sort of don't know a ton. I want to just get to this point of when we try to get a variable, it turns out to be a result because the variable might not exist, or we might have an error while we're trying to read it. Perhaps it has like, we're trying to decode it into a string, but a string has to be valid UTF-8, and there are ways to do not valid UTF-8. Oh, STD. STD means standard. In general, stdlib means standard library. It's the library that comes with your code in general. Although it doesn't always, because you can turn it off. We definitely want that to exist, and if it doesn't, we want to just kind of fail outright. Rust. This is in fact Rust. So this expect is basically going to panic and say, hey, I can't keep going because something went wrong. And I'm just going to say missing env var Discord token. So the next thing we want to do, now that we have a token, we want to get to this part where we can do client unwrap. Basically, we want to be able to run our client. So this client start await unwrap is what we want to do. This unwrap I'm actually going to move. I don't like putting it there. I think that's a little bit weird, but we're okay on that for now. To do that, let's just start building it from like we'll start building it backwards. So let client is going to be of type probably Serenity client. Serenity poise. Serenity. Interesting. Client? I'm guessing. Did we not undo? Oh, we didn't add poise. So cargo, add poise. And I'm going to check the documentation to see what kind of feature flags it has. Do we need to know anything about this? This is the default. I'm not super worried about this. Corner gas. Okay, have fun. Oh, okay. There's everything. You can just turn these features off. The only one that isn't is collector, and I'm not really worried about that. We can add that if we want to. So cargo add poise. Turns out we don't have it, so it's going to pull it out. And we go here. And we just do that. And it should resolve. That's great. So to get a client, we're going to need a client builder. So I can get rid of this. Okay. Equals client. I'm going to do Serenity client builder. New. I'm going to start with that. And then this is an interesting problem I'm getting. What's the issue here? I'm going to restart the LSP. Rust. Analyzer. Reload workspace. Why are we having an issue here? Oh, I actually need a different version of Rust. Okay. So I actually have to update my Rust up, or my Rust version. So I'm just gonna do that right now. Oh, I'm way behind. Holy shit. I think I was on 1.73. I should have been on like 1.74, but there's up to 1.77 right now. I haven't done this in a while. Cool. And now I'm going to reload the workspace again. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to restart the server entirely. Rust restart. And we're doing the Rust check right now, so this is still going. It's building a lot. It's gonna take a second. 3 p.m. No, it's not 3 p.m. for anyone around here. You'd have to be in like Hawaii for it to be 3 p.m. Okay. So we have our client builder. This Serenity is going to be use poise Serenity I'm actually going to look at how they do their things. Oh, poise Serenity prelude as Serenity. I like that better. As Serenity. Whoopsie. Serenity. Holy God. Typing is terrible right now. Okay. So we need two things for this. It's telling us that we're missing two arguments. We need something that is a string, which is our token. That's fine. We'll take that. And so we'll do reference to our token. Oh, actually, we don't even need to do it like that because it's taken as ref. Am I seeing what? Yeah, okay, hell, that is way too soon, by the way. I was so blown away when you fucking said that. I was like, God damn. I mean, yeah, like, it's true. I'm so sorry, Theory. It is true. You gotta watch out. Like, people don't take kindly to that. Just for your own safety, sometimes it's better not to. But it's still like it shouldn't have happened, right? I'm not blaming you, really. It just that's rough. Why are you you're doubling down. Stop doubling down. Okay. So now we're gonna we need to set up our token and our intents because that's what we have to pass here. Hey Krister, how's it going? It's fun to be mean to somebody who just went through a potentially traumatic experience. Is that fun? I don't think so, man. I just think you're not thinking of it in that way. So we need to declare our intents like we talked about. Equals Serenity intents. Gateway intents dot non-privileged or Serenity dot gateway intents message content are the two we need. Well, not two. Non-privileged is a ton of them. Message content is a special one. So we're going to pass those intents here. Okay. So we have a client builder, but we're not really using it. We also need to figure out how to build it. So dot build. Dot await. dot expect failed to build client. So we have a client. We're going to do client dot start. Whoopsie. Client dot start dot await dot expect failed client failure. Cannot borrow client as mutable. Okay, does the client need to be mutable? That is interesting. It's telling us we have to start, await, unwrap. This is interesting. Yeah, I should start like actually figuring out my channel point stuff, but I haven't done it yet. I'm actually curious why this isn't working. I'll make it a mutable client. We'll just see what happens. I guess that's correct. Start does take mute self. That is interesting. I think she didn't take the news. I finally came out to my mom yesterday. She didn't take the news well. I guess she doesn't like rollerbladers. That's amazing. I love that. Oh man, my whole like immediate family knows that I'm trans now. And I still have that conversation with my mom where she's like, "Well, what is they? What is this they? Like I don't get that." And I'm like, "Just say she, man. I don't care." I say like just use she. It's easy. I don't want to have this conversation every damn time. Anyway. So we have our client. What we need to now do is add a framework. Because we want to use Poise to build our thing. My family doesn't even know I support LGBT rights. Oh, man. That's rough. Having to come out to them. What would you come out as, Chris? I know you're actually I don't know what you are. I think you've said he him before, but I don't want to assume if I don't like actually remember. Or wait, are you just saying you couldn't imagine coming out? Oh, pan. Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's fine. I think the trans thing is like, I mean, like sometimes that you don't really, if you're like, if it's just a sexuality, you don't actually have to come out. Yeah, just that would be rough. Yeah, I didn't pick it up for a second. I feel like if you're like, if it's just a sexuality, you almost don't have to come out. Like you can just be like, well, I'm just gonna date someone, and then like, oh hey, by the way, like this is my like girlfriend, and people like, huh? Or like, oh, this is my boyfriend, huh? I'd probably get shot. That's bad. I hope that's an exaggeration so much. Sorry, my camera is bothering me right now. That's a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we need to build the framework. So essentially, Poise is a framework that allows us to build commands easier. So Serenity is like a low level, this is how you interact with Discord framework. And Poise is built on top of Serenity to make the building of like bots with commands a lot easier. And it's good because it means you could replace Poise with something else and still use Serenity as the underlying API framework. And that makes it really powerful. There's a lot of Rust that's built like this. It's like instead of rolling your own thing, you'll build on someone else's like strong, solid work, which means they can improve that work forever, and you'll get those improvements for free, and you can focus on solving a different problem or a higher level problem. Yeah, hell, you're slamming Theory. What did he do to you? Damn, that's just hate. He's just hating. Okay. So we need to build this framework. The way this is going to work, we're going to try and do this as small as possible. You may not hate Theory, but you're hating. You know what I mean? Hating doesn't require you to hate. So let framework. Oopsie. Work equals heaven's better. That's funny. I do have Quebec. That's what I hate. I mean, they're kind of French, so I get it. Okay, so we're going to do a framework builder. I think it's new. Is it not new? What is it? Oh, framework builder. Gotcha. And we need to give it options. I guess we don't need to give it options. Right now, we're not going to implement commands or anything. We're just going to get this like running without failing. This setup we're also going to ignore. So we're just going to do Poise framework builder build. And what does that give us? I thought I did this. Oh, I didn't because of this. Okay. Interesting. So the framework is a kind of specific thing. I'm curious then. Let's take a look at it. Let's go to modules, framework. Huh. I'm curious what this U and E is, but I'm wondering if that's just something that gets sent to the client. So let's do this. We're going to add a dot framework and put in framework here. Does that answer it for us? Nope, it doesn't. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at what we're getting here. Go to the top. Framework is just framework. Poise framework builder. Options. Framework options. CTX ready framework. This. Data. Okay. This is what we need to know. This user data thing. So, struct. Whoopsie. Struct. User data is going to be just a nothing. And that's why we need a setup function. So we're going to build one of those. We're going to do a setup and we'll figure that out in a second. We also need to figure out where the context comes from. Ah, this error function. Okay. So we have this error, which is this sort of magic type of like, it's really just anything that does this. So we're just going to sort of throw that in there. I think that's going to be okay for now. Oh, the startup screen is actually necessary because I have so much. I literally take forever to prepare for a stream, and it's annoying. I wish I didn't have to do it. It's also like good to do because like you don't want people to show up and feel like they missed something because they were a couple minutes late. But I think like when you're small, it's a little less important. It's also like if you're doing something big at the beginning, like you do want to like give people time to get in because they want to see it live generally. Again, don't fret about it too much. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this. This is just a function which takes these three parameters: CTX, ready, and framework. Okay, CTX, ready, and framework. There we go, and it's going to do some stuff in here. I'm going to, instead of building any of this stuff, I'm kind of just going to do I'm going to do this. So box pin, I'm guessing it has to like return a pin. Let's take a look at this. Let's also format this a little bit better. Setup. Box future. Okay, because it's a future, we probably have to pin it. You're going to end up talking to nobody if you just start talking immediately. Yeah, I mean, like, and that might be okay. I think for bigger creators, like, for example, Cow, when he starts, like, there's like 10, 20 people in already because he's going to get up to 75 and on, like, he's going to get up to 75 on a bad day. And so we're going to do, we're going to return a box pin. I'm not even going to do it this way. Of okay of user data this. Hey, there we go. Oh, this box pin thing has to be an async. Okay. Async. Maybe we don't need to move anything. We need to know the context thing. Type must be known. Yep. Okay. And so right now what I'm going to do is we're going to insert this, and we're going to use this error function and just sort of annotate that right now. It's super unnecessary for the moment. So I'm actually going to just do something like this here. We are really just going to toss all that in there and sort of build this the whatever way. And I believe this will actually start up. All right, so let's format it, make sure we can read everything fine. And the final thing I need to do is I need to set the Discord token. I have the Discord token elsewhere, and I want to do that. I think I'm just going to use this to like hijack SideQuest. I'll just use the same Discord token for both. I think what I'm sorry. I think what I'll do is I'll have the same logic of loading the .env file. So cargo add .env, and I'm going to create a function which is fn load .env and we're going to, I know the exact path, and so I'm just gonna sort of slash dot config slash side quest slash dot env. I believe that's it. Dot config side quest .env. Okay, cool. That is the correct thing. Let path equal that. And then .env there's actually a better way of doing this. .env I want to see if there's a from path, I think. And what we want to do is dot expect and we're going to say failed to load .env file. That returns a result of unit. Okay, cool. This is exactly what we want. And so load.env is going to just be right up there at the top. Okay, we're going to just try and run this. So we're going to do cargo run. And we're just going to see if this works at all. I don't know if it will. We can actually do one thing. I will do this. First time here. What am I programming? We built a Discord bot in Python using PyCord to post the schedule for my streams. Normally, so I'm not just a programming streamer. I also play music. But I want to post the schedule on my Discord server, and we built a bot to do just that. And for fun, I'm rewriting it in Rust because I love Rust, and I kind of want to get into building a really solid bot in Rust. I have done this sort of before, but not with this specific program. Right now, we're just working on like from the bare bones. Like, I'm not doing this as fast as possible. I'm trying to like talk through it to make sure that like someone following along could understand it a little bit. So let's do this. I'm gonna do print line. Writing it in Rust provide a benefit. It's more fun for me. I will say that. Hello, creature. Lovely to see you. If I write it in Rust, it'll be a little bit faster. There are some problems with the way the Python one was written, which we actually ran into. When we were originally building the bot, when we try and do a purge of a channel, which is something I needed to do for my scheduling like procedure, I wanted to purge the channel except for the message that I cared about. And what happens is if the bot is alive, does the purge operation, and then tries to if you try to do a purge again while the bot is still alive and hasn't refreshed, it will lock up and not do it. And that is really annoying because there's no reason it should do that. It should just simply work. I kind of know why it happens, but I think it was a mistake to do it. to do it that way, and I can't really reproduce why I think it's a mistake to do it that way. And also, like, someone might be relying on it. I know for a fact that the Rust framework I'm using, which is Poise, doesn't do that. So there is a tiny benefit to doing it by theory. So right now, all we're doing is getting a bot set up to connect to Discord, receive events, and do nothing with them. That's all we're doing. Kill it, run debug, rerun. I didn't want to do that. Like, because I want this bot to work sort of forever, and I don't want to just kill it every time I do this schedule thing or have it restart itself. It's just kind of crappy. What I did was I took the bot out of it and just did it using like the raw Discord API, which was not hard. It just meant I had to do it like from scratch. And then we used webhooks to do the posting, and we used like specific access to do the purge. That turned out to be pretty easy. We did that in a single stream. Starting. Okay. So here's what we're doing. We are, this is what we've done so far. I'm pretty sure this will work. We load our .env file from our special place over here. The reason I'm doing it from over here is that if I put this .env file in here, I might accidentally click on it and show you all my shit. So I don't want to do that. Also, to be clear, Julian, PyCord is a solid framework. It really is. This is an edge case that I'm hitting that is very strange and specific to like what I was doing with it. I've used PyCord in the past with like great success. It's just a weird problem that I ran into because of what I'm doing. It's unusual. I'll give it that. So what we've done here is we're loading our .env file from over here. We're getting our token, which is provided to us by this .env file. We tell Discord what messages we want to receive when we issue our connection. We build the framework, which is the Poise side that allows you to build like the bot, the commands, and all that. When we do that, our setup function is going to be starting, and it's going to just return some random bit of data. It's nothing. We don't need to worry about it. We're not storing anything at the moment. Then we take that data and insert it into a client, what's given our token and intents. We make sure that the client actually can connect, and then we start the actual loop, and then it should just terminate at some point. And that's it. Oh, hello, Distinct Trinata. That's Distinct Trinata. Okay, I think I got that. Thank you for raiding. Hello, raiders. My name is Quest. You rated on ads. Yeah. It's. I fucking hate having ads. I wish I didn't have them, but I hate pre-rolls even more. Thank you for following, by the way, and thank you for rating. We're building a Rust bot, and we're doing it in a teaching style. So this might be a little slow if you are a Rust programmer or a Discord bot programmer, or both. And if you're a Poise or Serenity developer, which are the frameworks I'm using, this is going to be very slow for you. But also, it'd be cool that you're here. All right. So that's the explanation of what we're doing, and we're going to run it. Good time to... it's a great time, by the way, to have rated, because now we're going to see if this thing actually runs. Here we go. It's got to build. We're going to take a second. How's everyone doing? Hi, raiders. Welcome into the stream. That's perfect timing. Just sit here and watch it compile. I also realized my dono goal's in the way. That's annoying. That is annoying. I don't know how to fix that. And now we wait. This is the other thing of Rust, is it does take a long time to compile. I could probably set up the stuff that makes it go faster, but that's fine. Yeah, by the way, Trinata, how did you find me? That's so cool that you found me. We love Rust on my team. Hell yeah. Fucking hell yeah. We panicked. Because this path, we did not do a expand user. Okay. This is normal. Doing dev work today? Nice. Oh, I appreciate that. I really appreciate you stopping by. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to find expand user in Rust. There's just a crate for it. Of course there's a crate for it. Holy crap with the ads. Okay. Shell expand. Yeah, shell expand seems like a good one. Cool. Cargo add shell expand. Whoopsie. And so let's do this. Let's find shell expand. We're gonna have to reload our workspace because we just added a new package and Cargo does not know about it. We sit and wait again. While we're just, it's gotta do all its load. Okay, there we go. Give me some stuff. Give me some stuff. Tilde. Of path. Okay. Ooh, I just could overwrite it like this. Yeah, that's not terrible. But dot as ref. Can I just do like that? Hell yeah, that works perfectly. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna do this in this way instead. Oh no, hold on. I'm gonna take this and oh shit, I forgot I'm in Vim mode. VF that, kill it and paste it and 5x this way. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're shell expanding this. It gives us a cow, which if you don't know what cow is, it's copy on write, which means it only copies the string if it needs to, if it has to like write a new thing. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, now that we found that, let's try running it again. We're gonna have to rebuild a little bit, but not a lot. I think incremental is turned off still. I think there's still they're having issues in the thing. No framework options provided. Okay, so we have to have options. I really wish they would have. I really wish this builder thing would have said like, oh, you have to provide some framework options, but like using like type state to make it required. I find that to be kind of strange. So framework options, we're just going to do default. There should be no reason for anything else. Build this up. Boy, it does kind of take a long time to do this initial part. Starting. Hey, we did it. Okay, cool. So here's a couple things we checked. Number one, we know for a fact that our Discord token is valid because we connected. We know that we're building the client and the framework correctly. And we know that our intents are not complete garbage. And the message content intent that we have is in fact valid and one that we know we can use. Super duper. Okay, now what we want to do, the thing I want to do next is I want to make a slash command and a prefix command of the same name and we're going to call it uptime. And all it's going to do is say, when did we start running this thing? And so, or how long ago did we start doing this? There's a bug in my room. Sorry if that was loud. I hate bugs. Okay, so what I want to know is, I'm going to go to the Rust standard library. Rust stdlib. It's a library of STDs. That's fucking stupid. Okay. There's a time thing. We have time instant. Duration. Okay, I want to take two instants and compare them, and that's what I want to do. So I want to pack an instant of time into our user data struct. I'm not really worried about it being like super accurate. I kind of just want it to be like, how long has it been up? I'm really not super concerned with that. So here's what we want to do. I'm going to say, let's see. Start time is going to be an instant using standard. And then this user data is going to say start time is instant.now or instant now. Ooh. Hold on. Is that correct? Okay. Next thing I want to do is we need to create a context because we're going to be passing that in Poise, and you can see how they use it here. They make a type alias. We're just going to copy this type alias because there's a little bit of boilerplate involved. And instead of data, we're going to do user data. We might change the name of that struct later. I'm not really worried about it, frankly. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to create our function. So there is the bug. I found it. Hey! I will kill that motherfucker. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to make an async function, which takes a context and potentially some other stuff. We're going to ignore the thing right now. And returns a result of unit or error. Right now, we're just going to make the simplest version of this. So we'll do this. And we're going to do async fn uptime, which takes a CTX, and that's a context with some lifetime. If you don't know what lifetimes are, it's a Rust specific thing. Don't worry too much about it. They can be a little bit painful to work with sometimes. Results of let's see, unit and error. Okay. Right now we're just going to do okay and return nothing. Not really worry about it. We want to turn this into a Poise command. And we want to make it a slash command and a prefix command. Now we haven't actually set up our prefix. We're gonna have to look up how to do that. Shouldn't be too hard. But let's now figure out how we're going to implement this function. So we'll take a look at this format. Okay, so it gets some data. It has a response, which is a string, and it does ctx say await. So we know we want to say the uptime in response. So ctx dot say, and what does say take as a thing? It says it takes an impl of into string. So if we have to make a string, we don't pay the cost of like overdoing it. I'm really not worried about that. Of something kind of doesn't matter what we do. And then dot await question mark. There we go. And now we need to build the thing. So let duration equals actually, I just realized this instant is not what we want. We want to get the Unix timestamp of when we started to the second. So let's take a look at that. Unix timestamp, or maybe just timestamp. File times, synchronous, read timeout net. No. I'm guessing it's actually going to be in stdos. So let's start there. So let's do std modules. Let's go to OS. Unix. Prelude. File. IO. No, those are file dumps. Raw process. I would think it would be in time, but I don't think we see anything like that when we go to time. System time. Although system time cannot be directly inspected, the Unix epoch constant is provided in this model as an anchor. By calculating the duration from this fixed point in time, a system time can be converted to a human readable time. So clock.getTime. I believe that's correct. Yeah. Okay. So we actually want to get a system time instead of a this. So we're gonna do system time. There we go. And instead of building that here, I'm going to replace that with system time.now, and returns the time corresponding to now. And we actually just want to say that timestamp in Discord's format for timestamps. And we want to have it say the relative time since then. I believe that's how we did it in the previous one. I'd have to check, but I think that's right. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of this duration, we're going to do let timestamp message. Actually, let's do let timestamp equals system time ctx dot data dot start time. That's what we want. ctx dot data dot start time And we want to figure out if it's just is it just elapsed? Yeah, elapsed is what we're looking for. Okay. This function may fail as the underlying system is susceptible to drift and updates. This function may not always succeed. If successful, to measure elapsed time reliably, I'm not really worried about that. I do not want to do it that way. I think this is where we're actually looking at it. Return the difference. Oh no, it's not returns the difference from this time to from the system time to the current clock time. It's we actually want to do the relation to Unix epoch. Okay, cool. CTX data dot start time dot duration since system time Unix epoch. I'm gonna just unwrap it. I'm gonna say that it has to be after the Unix epoch. I think that's just a guarantee. I don't think there's any way that that could possibly be. Oh, and then we want to do as seconds. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Okay. And then now that we have the timestamp, we want to do let message equals, and we're going to create a format string, which is going to be bot has been up since actually we'll do bot started, and then we're going to do t colon, we're going to take our seconds, which is our timestamp, and then r for relative, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Why don't we look up the Discord timestamp format. Discord timestamp syntax. Relative time. Oh, it's a capital R. That's good. Glad we checked. Okay. So it'll say bot started 3 years ago, or bot started 12 seconds ago. I think this is going to be correct. And we'll do ctx say message. Dot. Is there some way of like... I wonder how much we can make the context change. Right now, I think we're not going to get a lot out of it. By the way, if you want to see me test the bot live, please join my Discord server. There's a bot dev test channel that we run everything in, so you'll be able to actually see it. I won't be sharing it on my screen. So if you absolutely must look at it, you're going to have to look at it there. Type alias context is never used. That's because this function is never used. Start time is never read. Instant, not worried about that. I actually do want to get rid of this though. Cool. Remove unnecessary braces. Okay. I think this is going to be correct. And I'll go to the bot dev test channel. We can delete the original messages in here. And I think that's going to be correct. Now, the next thing we're going to have to do is we are going to have to we're going to have to add this command into our framework. So the way that they've done that here is, as part of the framework options, you have a list of commands. So we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to change everything up until the first exclamation point, or the first parentheses. Poise, framework options, we're just going to build that up. Commands is going to be a vec. And vec is basically just a list. And what's important here is that you actually pass the function, right? You don't pass the function as a variable. You actually run the function, because that function produces a usable thing. So here we're doing uptime, but we're not passing uptime. We're passing a function which produces the command, and we have to actually call it. And then for the rest of it, we could do ... default. So that basically means like everything else in options has a default value. We're going to just use all those. But commands is a specific one, and we want to do it. The next thing we're going to need to do is in our setup, because we are I'm losing my mind here. Because we now have a slash command, Discord requires you to register your slash commands so that they become available. If you don't do that, Discord just won't know that they're there. It's specific for slash commands because Discord has its own built-in like interaction with them. So in order to do that, you actually have to register it. That's what they've done here. This Poise built-ins register globally. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do Poise built-ins register globally. And to do that, we're going to pass in our CTX and our let's see, what do we got here? Framework options commands. I'm actually gonna, I just realized we don't have those anymore, so we're gonna do CTX and framework. Hope that didn't add this. That's annoying. Not worried about it. Okay, and let's just make this a little bit bigger. Oh, that was weird. Framework. And we actually need to do framework dot options because we actually need to take the commands. And we are going to run into a problem if we don't borrow that because we're trying to take ownership of it. And then register globally is going to be definitely something like that. Let's take a look. I don't know why it's doing that specifically, but I don't really care too much right now. Okay, all it's doing is that away. The next thing I want to do is register globally might actually not be what's right for us. The reason it might not be what's right is that if we the way Discord sort of works is like there's a global registration, but it can take up to an hour to propagate through all the servers. And that doesn't necessarily get reduced when you only have one server that this is in. And I do only have one server. So there's a potential weirdness. Ooh, I also have a new problem here. And async move. Okay. This async block is going to have to be the one that runs this stuff. And I'm actually going to move print line down here because I want it to be the last thing we do. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the docs for register globally and make sure that it actually is correct. So to do that, we're going to do modules, framework. Oh, we're going to do, no, actually we want to go built-ins. So register application commands, register application commands buttons. That's not what we want. Okay. register the given list of application commands to Discord as guild-specific commands. This is actually going to be what we want to do, because if we know the guilds, it's going to automatically say, oh, this guild, perfect. Register application commands is a button that you can create. It's like a sort of, oh, what the hell? I don't know what just happened. There was like a fucking schmutz on my leg. Register application commands will sort of like, it'll make it so that you can have like a little debug thing which automatically registers the commands. I don't want to do it that way. I actually think that's going to be a little bit kludgy. So what we're going to do is we're going to register in guild, and we're just going to hard code the guild that we're in for now. Later on, we might want to not do this, but for now I'm just going to do register in guild, and that means I need to track the guild ID. So the guild ID is just a struct, an identifier for a guild. How can I create one? Can I just new? Yeah, that's exactly what I want, and it's just this. So I'm gonna take the guild ID from my server and copy server ID. I know from that copy's not gonna work. Okay, so it's gonna have to be this. Const const guild ID U64 equals this. Yeah, that's fine. Guild ID. And then this register globally is actually going to be register in guild. And the last thing we want to do is do guild ID of guild ID. This is just for testing. This is not a great way of doing this. Oh, we actually want to do .new. And that's perfect. We have that working. Okay. Let's run this, and well, let's just double check what we've done. We've added our uptime command. Oh, the last thing we want to do is set the prefix. The prefix I've been using is SK for side quest, because I'm quest and it's my sidekick, so it's side quest. Also, side quest is a thing. So that's how we do that. So what we need to do is we need to go to the framework options. And we'll go to modules, framework builder. Where are our framework options? Just options? Options. Huh. I find this to be very interesting. Where are my goddamn options? Framework builder. Dot options. Is it framework options? Where does this come from? Poise structs. It's just over there? Okay, that's a little fun. It also should be on the top, but it doesn't really do that. On error, pre-command, post-command, command check. Where's our prefix options? Okay, so we have to set a prefix options whole chunk of things. So prefix options is going to be a prefix framework options dot default dot can I set prefix? I can't set the prefix like that. Prefix. Oh, I think I know what to do. You just do it sort of like this. Is a let's see. Prefix is going to be some, and it's going to be SK exclamation point. That's what I want. And I'm just going to do dot into because that should work. Yeah, okay, it'll give me that automatically. And then I want to do dot default. Cool. Let the rest of my prefix options just be normal. I think there are a couple more things. Oh, that's not right. I want to do this. Okay, so now we've set our prefix. I think this will now work. So let's run our thing again. It's going to take a second. I know we have framework options, which is unused. Oh, it is unused because we have this. So I don't need that. So I will DFF. Oopsie. Hi, you're back. It's me, your favorite in the whole wide world. You know, Theory, I think you're pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, cool. So we have that. Let's see if our uptime command works in Discord. I'm gonna do the slash command first. Hey, that works. What I don't like is that it didn't do an ephemeral response, so everyone can see that. I do want to find a way to avoid that. We'll see if we can make that happen. Now I want to do the prefix command. We'll make sure that works. That's perfect. It also is correctly doing what I think it's supposed to do, which is it's going to tell me when it was started, and that does seem to be right. So that's great news. We fucking got it. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to turn that uptime into an ephemeral response so that only the person who requests it can see it. I also think it's a little silly to have that. We know that prefixes work now, so I don't want to have it as a prefix command. I'm going to just turn that off. And the next thing I want to do is we have this message. I want to figure out how to make ephemeral responses with poise. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like get in here. Oopsie, that's wrong. Poise. And we're going to just do ephemeral. Wow, if we spelled it right, it might be better. Okay. Poise, reply, create ephemeral. This only has an effect in slash commands. Can you make the bot flirt with people? I don't think so. I mean, actually, no. Let me. I was so wrong. Let me correct myself. Yes, I absolutely could do that. I could literally make a flirt command where it just responds with "you're cute," or just "goddamn." That would be an interesting way of doing that. Okay. So we have a context. I want to take that context. Reply. User's command message. Let's see if we can make it ephemeral without... Let's just take a look at what we've got here. Reply with a reply builder. I don't know what that is. I'm not really worried about it. Send panics when called send reply. Oh, if we have a create reply going on here. Send b content reply equals true. only has an effect in the prefix context because slash command responses are always formatted as a reply. I got it. So reply is basically an interesting thing. What I actually think we need to do is, because it's a reply, we want to do a defer or broadcast. Typing broadcast is started until the return value is dropped. That's an interesting one. So make the response public. I think what I want to do is I actually want to do an application context. So I want to match this context to an application context. And it should work every time because this is a slash command only. And it shouldn't be called an autocomplete. So because it's this, I want to do interaction. Oh. Methods. Defer ephemeral. Let's just see what happens here. Defer response is true. Sorry? Context methods. CTX.defer response true is wait. Defer ephemeral self. Interesting. Okay, this might be a little weird. Okay. Why is it making defer ephemeral like happen that way? If let self application CTX is self, CTX defer response true is wait. But how does that work? That's so weird. Oh, defer response. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's a underlying defer response here, which says where it should be, whether it should be ephemeral or not. Okay, I understand that now. In reality, I don't want this to be deferred, but it does seem like that's an easy way of doing it. I think we're going to do it that way. So CTX dot defer ephemeral dot await and then CTX dot say reply. Okay, let's just check if this is roughly right. Defer ephemeral. And it returns results, so you can't make this fluid. Okay. I think we're actually kind of on the right track here. This defer ephemeral seems to be the one way of doing it. The other way that I think is probably like the core way is you make a reply builder. So this reply is like figuring out how to make this ephemeral. But I think defer ephemeral is kind of the way we want to do it. So let's just run it now. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's try it again. Now, this SK uptime should not work. That's great news. We turned that off. And now uptime. Perfect. Now, you can't see it, But you can test it, I believe. I don't know if people are allowed to talk in bot dev test. Kind of doesn't matter if you can. But what you can't... Here, I'll send a... Oh, what the goddamn hell? What the goddamn hell? Why isn't this working? Hello? Oh my goodness. Sorry, my whole thing is shitting itself. And my goddamn camera froze. Okay, we're back. Okay. I wanted to send a screenshot about it, but it's not letting me. So I'm going to do a couple things here. I know that you probably just saw this thing collapse a little bit. Oh, you didn't see it collapse. That's actually very interesting. Oh my god, it's not letting me screenshot Discord. That's so weird. Oh my goodness. And it's freezing my fucking camera every time. Okay, I can't send you a screenshot. I apologize, but it does work. We have an ephemeral response. I did the uptime command and you can't see it, and that's ideal because I want it to die when you leave. Because the other ones, they stay forever, and that's a problem because it might lead to misinformation in terms of like the bot telling you when it was alive and not. So that's perfect. We have that working, and it works perfectly. Okay. Here's the next deal. This is just the core of the bot. That took us about 2 hours. Not unreasonable, but not incredible. The first time we did this, we spent a long time building the actual scheduling part of the bot. Probably about 3 hours just doing that. I only have about 2 more hours to go. So I could build that side of it. I could do some of that stuff. I think what I want to start with is building the update logic. So if I know, I'm just going to assume that I know the exact... I'm going to assume that I know the exact... I'm so sorry. What am I thinking of? The exact message ID that I want to preserve, and that I have fixed messages to send afterwards. I can see that bug. That thing's bothering me. So I think that's what we want to do right now. So we'll work on the purge. So purging, sending the first message, or no, sorry, purging, updating the first message, sending the second message. And if the first message doesn't exist, we'll just ignore it. And it won't exist the first time. Or we won't ignore it, but we'll redo it. Okay, so now I'm gonna do async fn schedule is what it's gonna be called. I'm gonna take a CTX, and it's going to return a result of error. Okay. So the 3 steps we're going to have to take are... whoopsie. We're going to have to do... Let me think. The 3 steps we're going to have to take are purge all messages except selected. Then also we're just going to satisfy the compiler real quick because that's going to be annoying. Purge all messages except selected. We're going to upsert the given message ID. upsert first message, and then we're going to post second message. And the way that this works, the way that I've built it, is I want to have a single updated post that's always like the current schedule. And then I want to delete everything else in the channel and then post a ping message to say, hey, the schedule's been updated. So that's pretty easy to do. I'm not super worried about that. I think right now the first message is just going to be first message. The second message is just going to be the string second message. So we'll start with purge. ctx.purge. That didn't work, huh? I find this interesting. Okay. I want to know how Serenity or Poise is going to do a purge operation. So I'm guessing we're going to be looking at Serenity here. Let's go back to the top of Poise. Let's make this full screen so we have some room to work with. We're going to need to really investigate some of these guys here. So let's do built-ins. Let's just see if there's some useful stuff here. Poise built-ins, help configuration, on error, servers. Nope, that's not what we want. Dispatch? No, I think dispatch is figuring out where to send something. Slash arguments, not what we're looking at. Samples. Oh, samples is built-ins. Track edits, structs, framework, message, prefix, trigger. No, no, that's not what we're interested in. Modal. No, we don't want a modal. Macros, command. Choice parameter, modal slash choice parameter. No, not at all. Cool down. Okay, so actually I think what we need to do is we need to go to Serenity and find the underlying like models. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to find the channel that the message we're looking for is posted in. That's, oh my god, there's another one of these. We're going to have to find the channel that the message has been posted in. Then we're going to have to take the message itself and we're going to have to purge that channel, but we're going to have to do it with the exception of the message that we wanted to save. So to do that, I believe we're going to need model, channel, channel. It's going to be a guild channel. And how do we get one of these? Methods. Get. Say, unpin, pin a message. Guild's text, news, or voice channel. Okay. Create feature model. Okay. So we're going to actually need to do a connection. So let's start looking at the context that we have. Framework builder setup command. Where's our context? Structs, context, cache, data, framework, guild. Guild channel, that could work. Okay. We have this guild channel. Let's take this guild channel And what we're going to do is we're going to delete messages. So we actually need to first get all messages, and then we need to try and delete all of them. And there's not really, it doesn't look like there's a clean way of doing this. Maybe there's a purge? No. Okay, so we'll have to build this ourselves. That's totally fine. So let's start doing that. Let's build a purge function. Async fn purge, and we're going to take a chan, which is a channel ID, or actually we're going to take a guild channel. And let's say we're going to also take a function. So f, which is going to be a fn of message. What is it going to be? It's going to be a message ID. Yeah. Message ID. Yep. And it's going to return a Boolean. That's going to be our filter function. And this is going to return a result of unit or error. Okay. And I think we need to use impl for this. And we will return okay. Cool. So now here's what we're going to do. Make two bots kiss. Motherfucker. I want that fucking bug dead. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do purge, and that's going to be ctx.guildchannel dot unwrap. Are they kissing yet? Oh, this is an async, so dot await dot unwrap. Yep. Okay, that's correct. And then for now, we're gonna just have this simple thing here to satisfy us, and dot await and throw up the error. Can you use code to animate web pages, or is it always GIFs? No, you can absolutely use code to animate web pages. In fact, I have done that. It's one of the few like things in that realm that I have done. It's just a matter of like changing CSS on the fly, and sometimes it's a matter of like to do smooth animations. What you do is you change the CSS value of like, if you want something to like come into view and like appear on screen, you just have a timer that consistently updates the opacity from like 0 to 5, like 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. It just increases it like by 1 every couple milliseconds or so. You can set the time that you expect it to take and then divide by like the number of frames, if you want to like try and think of it that way, and it'll just update as it goes along. It's actually used a lot especially for things like when you see a modal window pop up into view and it doesn't just like appear. If it's like whoop, usually it's a little bit faster than that, but it's like either it appears immediately or it's sort of brought in. When it's brought in, that's actually like CSS animation. So you use the JavaScript to control the CSS, update it consistently, and the browser just will render it like that. So yeah. Okay. Chan dot messages. Okay, we're gonna assume that I have those things. Dot await messages equals this. Let. And it's gonna be a vec of message. Dot filter. Dot. What is the dot? I forget what it's gonna be. Split off append. Keep, something like that. Clear, drain, extend, fill. Is empty last. Leak. Retain. Message and return message.id. So it's going to be f of message.id. Okay. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at that real quick. Messages dot retain, and then this actually has to be mutable. Okay. Whoopsie. And I actually think that messages dot retain is the opposite of what we want to do. So I'm gonna figure that out in a second. But that's annoying. Okay, so cache HTTP is going to be an interesting thing. I think we just want to send over the context instead. So instead we'll do CTX is context. And then we'll say something like let chan equals CTX dot guild, whoopsie, guild channel dot await dot unwrap. It's got to be right. It doesn't actually have to be right, so I'll need to figure out how to make that work. So we have a guild channel there. Does the CTX have... So we need something called a cache HTTP. So it's a... there's something basically in the context that allows us to talk back. Cache. Useful data from the gateway, HTTP. Does this implement cache HTTP? Oh, do we just pass in the context? Oh, you know what? I bet context implements it. Asref cache, asref HTTP, yeah. And it implements cache HTTP. That's exactly what we're looking for. So instead of doing any of that, we want to do CTX. And there you go. Also, we want it to be a reference to that context. And this is going to be a reference as well. Okay, this builder is interesting as well. So channel.messages is a get messages builder. I'm guessing that comes from Serenity as well. Serenity Prelude builder. Get messages. This is exactly what we're looking for. Awesome. This looks right. The other parameter. Okay, so what do we have? We have get messages, new. Oh, the fields are all private. So get messages, new, and then we want, instead of doing after a round or before, we want to just set the limit of numbers. So we're just going to set limit to 100. And it's going to do a Fluent interface, which I appreciate. So this builder is going to be get messages, new, dot limit 100. Super. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay. Now what we've done so far is, first of all, let's format and make sure we're doing everything. Okay. I also want to do, I want this to be a slash command, and a slash command only. So I'm going to bump it up here, and I'm going to add it into our thing. Hello, creatures. Thank you for subscribing. You're my most loyal subscriber. That's not necessarily true. I don't know if anyone else is actually, like, subscribed for that long. I think you are, actually, though. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're my most loyal subscriber, so, I do appreciate that. So I thought I'd give you a little, a token of my thanks. And if you type another message, I think you'll see it. There you go. Thanks for hanging around, buddy. I appreciate it. I hope you're cool with me calling you buddy. I don't know. Some people don't like it because it's like very like gender code. You're right. I didn't have to do that. I chose to. I wanted to. Like, no joke. You're almost a day one. Like as soon as I could do subscribers, you did it. You've been here about as long as anyone else. I appreciate you. It's just a nice way to let you know. I can't give you anything other than that. I would gift you a subscription, except for the whole thing. Like, you've been subscribed this whole time. Okay. So, let's back into it. Stop distracting me, creatures. Back into it. We have our messages. I want to limit the messages. I only want to retain the messages that are not the ones I care about. So if message ID bool, I almost don't like this returning a bool. I'm going to do something a little bit fun here. This is a really useful piece of Rust that is like incredibly useful. Here's my biggest, like, there's a lot of stuff that we've done here that I can just like sort of show you how to work. What I'm going to show you is like the real power of Rust right now. And it's so fucking simple, but people just don't, and this is something you can't really do in JavaScript as much as you think you can. I'm going to make a data structure called an enum. If you don't know what an enum is, it just means it's one of some number of values. Now these values can be anything, but I'm going to give them nothing. And this is really where it's going to be like this. Delete choice. Keep and delete. This type and Rust's strong type checking, and this is something you do in Haskell. It's everywhere in Haskell. And when you write Haskell code, you write tons of data structures that look exactly like that. Essentially, it's like, hey, semantically, what do I mean by like this value? And here's what I can do. I can take this Boolean and say, instead of returning a Boolean, it has to return a delete choice. And so now this says, oh, instead of all of these things, I actually have to say delete choice, delete. So this tells me I want to delete every single message, right? This is the function that says delete every message. And instead of keep, dot, and then I'm going to do two like really simple helper functions here that are going to be, you know, fucking nothing. Fn is keep, which takes a reference to self. Oh, hold on. Hold the fucking phone here. Oh, the namespace operator in Rust? Yeah, it's if you think about it, like, where am I pulling a like a function or a struct from? That's the only place you use that kind of thing. It's like I'm pulling it from a namespace, whereas dot is pulling it from like a live object. So if I've instantiated, for example, delete choice, and I have an actual object that is of the type delete choice, then I need to use the dot operator to access the stuff I want inside of it. But if the thing sort of just exists without me having to do anything with it, like for example, system time, this is just the struct itself, like the definition of the struct, and I want to pull system time. Where's a good one? Here we do system time now. So system time now doesn't require a pre-existing system time. It's just like, oh, this is where you find the now function, and this is which one I'm selecting. It's because there's a lot of now functions. There's instant now. There's like Chrono's version of now, and this is sort of how we think about doing it. So like, I love the namespace operator, the double colon, because it tells you where you're getting the thing from. As opposed to like in Python and in JavaScript, the values in a class are just there because even the class is an object itself, right? And it's a live object at runtime. And I find that to be like kind of painful, actually. Match self keep is true, and delete is false. And then fn is delete. We're going to do, again, a reference to self, which returns a Boolean. And we're going to do not self dot is keep. Easy enough. And that's it. That's all we care about. So now keep dot is delete. The reason this is super useful. The reason this is super useful right now is that we now know for a fact, hey, I only want to keep the messages here that I want to delete. So this filter thing is saying, hey, only keep the messages. I might even do choose, right? Filter. Or actually, because now the type is telling me, I can just do F. So it's saying, hey, run this thing to get the delete choice and return this. Here's the other cool thing you can do. I'm going to make a new version of delete choice, but I'll call it struct should delete. And it's just going to wrap a Boolean. And that's it. This is the entire, this is the entire function. This is the entire thing. And I don't actually have to do anything else with it. And instead of doing, hey, you have to give me a delete choice, I'm going to just move over here to should delete, right? And instead of is delete, I can say if should delete is true, then I want to return that thing. I want to delete the messages because these are the messages being selected for deletion. And then down here, instead of delete choice delete, I can just do something like, for example, true dot into. Oh, I didn't do that. Isn't this a there's a new type thing. I'm going to implement from automatically. Or even better, I'm going to do, I'll just do the real way. Should delete and true. So this is another much simpler way of, this is called the new type pattern. Wrapping types, wrapping core types like Booleans and integers, which don't always have a real meaning behind them, and giving them a semantic meaning to say, should I delete this? Yes. True means yes. And that makes it really easy. Delete? Yes. True. Whereas before, if we were just returning a Boolean, it's not really clear if we want to keep or delete it based on whether or not it's true or false, because it's not clear how that true or false value is going to be used. This makes it crystal clear. And this is actually the one I'm going to use. I wanted to sort of show that off to people who maybe didn't know anything about that. 18PD. And there is a new types package in Cargo somewhere, or in crates.io. Crates new type. Oh, wow, I did that very wrong. New type. Oh, so bright. I hate it. Why is it bright? It's because it's old. Oh, these are all for other shit. I don't think I want that one. I want this one. This will implement from, is there a better version? Where's my documentation? There we go. New type is, this is the one I've wanted to use. So we're going to use new type. So let's get into it. Again, just to do anything, we do cargo add new type. It's built. Want to get in here, and we want to reload the workspace so that it picks up the new thing. As we're waiting for that to go, we want to do this new type And it should tell us that that doesn't actually make sense because this new type is actually only a crate. It's in scope, but it's a crate, not an attribute, so we can't use it. So we want to import new type, new type. Field 0 of should delete is private. Now that's interesting. Oh, we actually want to derive a lot of stuff here, and I've forgotten a lot of that. Where's the other thing? I want to use some derives. Regex validation, sanitizers, float. I want to make sure this is implementing the from. Oh, this derive thing is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. Derive debug from and into. I believe that's going to work. Let me make sure. Conclusion, custom validators, break the constraints, feature flags, all this stuff. Ukraine. Oh, support Ukrainian military forces. I remember. Yeah, I've used this before. I just realized. Derive econord, derive default. I don't want default. I'm pretty sure that works. So let's just make sure it works. Dot into. Or let me just see what's on here now that I have it. Into inner. Borrow type ID. Into inner. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, okay, cool. Structure is not visible here due to private fields. Oh, to do that, I need to make this pub, and then frankly, that's the way to do it. Dot zero. It's easy enough. Oh, you just can't do that. That's actually really funny. Okay. Into inner. And then the problem down here is that should delete new. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Part of the reason you do new types is that you can like pre-validate. We don't really need to do that. A Boolean's a Boolean. There's no impossible value that we could ever get. Not a big deal. So that's cool. What I love is that they have the message, right? If we try and get like, when we set this pub here, it gives us a problem and it says, oh, setting visibility for the inner field is forbidden by new type. The whole point is to guarantee that no value can be created without passing the guards, like sanitizers and validators. We do hope for your understanding and wish you a good sunny day. They did that. That was like, they added that to their own crate. And I love that Rust gives them the ability to do that. Super cool. Okay. Now that we have these messages, we want to try and delete all of them in bulk. So chan.delete messages. Impl asref. The next thing we want to do is let's just sort of like build this in. So CTX and message IDs is going to be messages dot await, and we'll just throw the error if we have an issue. Perfect. That should just work. There's one problem here. If we need to delete more than one message, or less than 2 messages. So one message, or if for some reason we need to delete more than 100, this will fail. If the last time we updated the any message we want to delete is over 2 weeks old, this will fail. So what I want to do is I want to catch the error. So we're going to go back to our, where's our model, channel, here we go. Guild channel. We're going to go to delete messages. Model error bulk delete amount. If an attempt was made to delete either 0 or more than 100 messages. The minimum amount of messages is 2 and the maximum amount is 100. Essentially what I want to do is, like, if this doesn't work, I want to try deleting them manually. I think that's the answer. Deletes all messages by IDs from the given vector in the channel. Minimum amount of messages is 2 and the maximum amount is 100. Bulk delete amount. Let's do this. Self.id dot delete messages. Oh, this should be the latest version. Okay, self.id.delete messages. So what is the ID? There's an internal thing. Guild channel. Oh, there's a, it's in the channel ID part. That's very interesting. I never would have expected that. Delete messages. Yeah, wow. It's just the channel ID has the thing on it. And I guess that makes sense, actually, because you only need to know the ID. I'll be damned. Okay. If length equals 0 or length is greater than or greater than 100. Oh, and it does this automatic thing. If you try to only delete a single message, it will handle that automatically. But if it's too much, then we have a problem. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try this. If I ever run into an issue with it, I'm just going to, because it does handle 0 messages. I don't think it'll ever be, it might be 0 messages at some point. So I think what I'll do is this. If messages dot len is equals 0, we're just gonna return okay. Just to get out of this early, right? Because we don't need it. So that, I think, is a safe way to go. It's probably never going to be 100, so I'm not going to worry about it. And this just should just work. That's good enough. I also can make a purge manually eventually. Where if for some reason that doesn't delete all of the messages, we'll recheck and say, cool, the last messages we know we need to purge manually. So we could do this check again of, fetch all the messages that don't match. This should actually be a separate function. Yeah, it should be. I'll deal with that later. Once I know what the 2 different functions are actually going to need and want. Cool. So we have this purge. The other thing we want to do early is ctx.defer ephemeral. We know that that is something that we actually have to do early so that we can let it run its whole process. Upsert the first message. So ctx.say. I just realized we're going to have a problem with this. If this is a slash command, it's always going to be set as a reply. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Let's do something. I say it's going to have to not be a slash command. It's going to have to be a prefix command. Prefix command. Okay. That's doing all right. By the way, I know there's a couple people here who are like not my regulars. If this is like, if you have questions about this, I love like sharing knowledge. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to like illustrate, like if you're not familiar with Rust or like you've never worked with the Discord API, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to help out. So this is going to be our second message. Second message. Perfect time for an ad break, huh? So the next thing we want to do is we want to find the message that we have in that channel. If that message doesn't exist, we're just going to make a new one. If the message does exist, we want to update it to say first message, and then shit, I don't know. We could get a random number if we wanted to. Yeah, let's do that actually. Rand. Oh, no, sorry. Cargo add rand. And then rand should be in our thing already. So rand. Huh. Okay, well, let's just reload the workspace again. Pla? What is pla? Hope? Are you saying hope backwards? Rand dot random int let int whoopsie int good lord int equals, and I just want to make a random like u8. Is that fine? Is that gonna work? Cool. We're just gonna post our random message, and so our message, let's see, let message, you are why I hate the elderly. That's so good. That's so fucking funny. Because first off, you're claiming to hate the elderly, which is hilarious on its own, but you're also calling me a 34-year-old elderly. I've said this before, Theory, and I'm not even going to take the insult. I'm going to just be like, I just appreciate that for the comedy. You're fucking funny. Like, I mean funny. I don't just mean like, oh, you've got a couple good ones. I mean like you are consistently very funny. It's not everyone has that. Some people are nice and like they're consistently nice all the time. It's just like it comes naturally to them. Other people like me have to make an effort for it. You are consistently funny, and that's cool. like I have friends who are funny, and then I have other friends who are like funny, and like I honestly I think you're in that group. I think you're funny. Like there are people who also don't have a sense of humor, and that's a different problem entirely. All my friends have a sense of humor and a good one, and they'll like get a good joke from time to time. But I have a couple friends who are just like, they're always like top tier. Goddamn Theory, not bad. First message, and then just whatever random integer we have. That's the best thing I've G. Another classic Theory. That's so funny. Does that work? I think it does. Cool. Okay. That's the best thing I've gotten. Well, because I know you're young, like, and I think it's important to tell people, like, especially when they're younger, like, hey, you have this. Like, don't slide on it. Don't let that just go. You should take care of that and like make it good, even if you don't do anything with it. Like, even if you never use it professionally, right? It doesn't matter. Like, have this skill, because especially like funny people like funny people. I love funny people. Funny people are like my thing. I love talking to funny people. Okay. I need the message ID. We're just gonna sort of come up with a random. We're gonna make a new one. It's gonna be like 5. Fuck, I don't care. Funny people are great. Why do you think I'm here? Oh, that's very nice of you. That's very nice of you. I'm not gonna pretend it's not true. Look. I'm gonna be real honest right now. I know I'm funny. I know I'm funny. I worked really hard for a long time to be funny. And I believe me, I get a lot of shit that misses, but I'm funny looking. Oh man. You can't say that to a trans person. I'm fucking with you. It's hot in here. All right, message ID. I know I'm funny. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time like trying to be funny and like working on it and studying comedians and comedy in general. So like I get it. I don't know how funny I am. That's a good, like, honestly, like, that's my gut check there, is like, I know I'm funny, but I don't know if I'm like funny to people who get me, or if I'm generally funny to most people, or if I'm only funny sometimes if you get me, right? And I don't know how consistent I am with any of that. I just know that I'm somewhat funny. And I will say, I have a good sense of humor. Nobody's funny to everybody is 100% true. So completely true. You just cannot be. It's about knowing your audience. Actually, I'll give you this. It's not just about knowing your audience. It's about catering to your audience. And here's a great example. When I came out as trans to my friends, the first person I came out to was somebody I knew was going to accept me. I had no question as to why is the first person I came out to, the very first person I've ever told, ever. When I realized it. It was like probably 2 days after I realized it. I sent him a text message and said, hey, we were going to hang out the other day, but you got sick and I really wanted to tell you something, but I didn't get the chance and I don't want to wait any longer, so I'm just going to tell you over text. And then I said, I think I'm a lesbian, which, you know, assigned male at birth, being a lesbian would be a weird move, right? And so he immediately gets it, and says, so not only are you trans, but you're also gay. Are you going to go to double hell? Or something? Or he's like, wow, you really don't want your dad to be proud of you, or something like that. And I was just like, ooh, that's fucking funny. And then he sent a message back saying, oh, you know, that's great. Like, you know, with I knew he was fine with it. I had no question. And it was incredible that he did that, because I didn't need coddling from him. Oh, you really don't want your dad to be proud of you. What's even funnier, I'll tell you the next best part is that we were talking a little bit more about it. He's like, yeah, I could kind of I guess that doesn't really shock me all that much, because we had been talking a little bit about me being not 100% male when I was a couple months before I came out. I had come up with that, and then he was like, yeah, it kind of doesn't surprise me that now you're now you're actually fully there. It doesn't surprise me. And I was like, really, it's not that shocking to you? And he was like, yeah, I probably could have guessed at some point. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Then you fucking could have told me. I was so pissed that he didn't tell me after he fucking apparently figured it out. The person who keeps being a dick as normal when you come to them for support. Yeah. What's also really funny is because of the nature of my a wanker anchor is that makes sense actually. My other the rest of my friend group had a really funny reaction too, because I sent it all to them in our group chat. We have a couple of group chats together, and I sent that to them in the one that's not completely filled with memes. And I told everyone, and a couple people already knew, but that was me coming out to all of my close friends, basically all of my friends, and that was the point of where I was I'm just out. I'm not hiding it from anyone anymore, with the exception of my parents, because I don't really talk to my family all that much. But all my friends, when they first read the message of hey, this is gonna be my name, I'm going by a different name, I'm going by different pronouns, I'm trans, this is what they are, I'm still kind of dealing with it, so please don't ask questions about it, something like that. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was I'm generally open about it, but right now it's still kind of a fresh thing, so I don't really want to get bombarded with questions about it. And everyone thought, where's the punchline? Because they assumed that it was the setup to a joke, and I can't blame them for that. I would never do that. I would never make the thing of oh, I'm coming out and it's not real. But I love the fact that they were wait, is this serious? Is for real? That was their internal thought, and good on them. Nobody said it in the chat. Everyone just hey, congratulations. And I was yeah, cool, that's dope. Oh, that was weird. Oh, never mind. I know what that was. Okay. We have a message ID, and I want to do a equals message ID, maybe new. Can I just do new? Panics if ID is 0. That's totally fine. Or no, you know what? Actually, what I want to do, I want to get channel messages. So let's just start with ctx.guildchannel await dot unwrap, because it's definitely going to be a guild channel, dot message. Yeah, cool. And we'll pass the CTX. And the message ID is going to be message ID. And right now, that's actually our guild ID, which is going to basically say there's no message of that. Which either returns a message or an error. And returns error HTTP if user... Damn, I wish that wasn't an HTTP error. Let's just take a look at maybe our thing. What is this HTTP error? Client, gateway. Oh, error HTTP. Oh, I see. So here, is there like a missing? I guess what we want to do is kind of just print the error. Okay, let's do that. I know that this one's gonna fail. So dot expect error. Oh, sorry, dot await dot expect error. So this should be an error for now. How the fuck did this work is a great question at that point, because I know for a fact it cannot. So let error equals this, and it should tell me it's an error. Okay, so error. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. So Serenity error. Oh, I just want to display the error, I think. Okay. So I'm just going to do ePrint line. Error, like that. Does that work? Okay. I think that's okay. So right now we know we're going to get the wrong thing. I sort of need to inspect like what this error actually looks like to see what I'm working with here. To say like, oh, how do I handle this error? So I won't really worry about this right now. I think I'm just going to try and run this. I don't think there's any issues other than that this message is not real. And I also won't worry about purging, so I'm going to comment that out. I don't want to try and mess with that right now. Okay, let's run this. And this is going to be a prefix command. I wish I had, like, you know what's funny is, like, I came out as, like, slightly less than, like, slightly not heterosexual, and then came out as trans. And I gotta tell you, I wish I'd done the trans one first, because then it was like, it kind of doesn't fucking matter. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fuck whoever I feel like fucking, and don't worry about it, man. I wish I'd done that, actually. That would have been great. But instead I came out to them as like, ooh, I kind of like, I kind of like some guys, sort of. I kind of like, I do want to like have that experience, but I'm not super worried about it right now. I kind of want to date a guy at some point. I really like girls. I'll be honest. Like, girls are super awesome. But I do want to date a guy at some point. It's not like a critical thing. Unknown message. It's just unknown. It didn't actually have a thing. Okay, let's try this. If let Serenity error HTTP of error equals error. Okay, that's what I want to do. I'm going to shadow this error binding, and this is going to be an HTTP error, and I'll see if I can print that. But this shouldn't be a unexpected, or it shouldn't be an unknown. It should be error HTTP of some sort. Okay, let's try it again. You probably wanted to print the debug version of error. I don't know. That might be it. I think that's what I'll try next. But that is... oh, sorry. I missed all your guys' messages. It's kind of hard to explain pansexual. So I just say kind of fruity. Pansexual just means like... I just like to think of it as like gender isn't a factor in whether I like someone. Which is absolutely true for me as well. You want to date a guy too. And Synep. I love that. I don't know why you keep saying penis backwards. And then I may want to use the debug version to try and like get the whole thing. I guess we'll see. Let's run this again. And I'm gonna do this. I fucking saw the bug again. Schedule. Still unknown message, huh? Okay. I think I'm going to go with your suggestion of doing the debug version. And I'm going to do the fancy one. Is that the fancy one? I forget. I haven't used the debug thing in forever. Also, welcome, Future Highway. How are you today? I hope you're enjoying the stream and having a wonderful time in general. I don't know what time it is for you. But I hope whatever time it is, it's a good one. Doing good. Nighttime for you? Oh, you're probably like, you're Western Hemisphere then. Okay, it's an unsuccessful request with an error response 404. Unknown message. Oh! It's unknown message. Because the message ID that I'm looking, it could have been like if it were unknown channel. I thought it was saying it was that the error I was getting back was unknown. Man. I want to know if that code, this 10,008, is actually like stable. So let's see if Serenity does anything about that. Let's check this. I'm actually really interested in this. I'm very fascinated with this right now. HTTP error, unsuccessful request, error response, status code, URL method, Discord JSON error, code isize. It doesn't tell us. I wish it did. I wish there was like a, oh, this means that your message didn't happen. I suppose 404 is like kind of a good enough one. So what I really want is this. HTTP error, unsuccessful request, error response, okay. So this is our check to say, hey, I also want to see like error resp. Status code. Status code. Not found. Is this it? Ooh, that's exactly what I was looking for. Dope. Super dope. Okay. What this is telling me is that this big nasty thing is saying if I have an error, which is an HTTP error, and that HTTP error is the unsuccessful request, and that unsuccessful request has an error response that contains a status code of not found, meaning, which is a much longer way of saying we 404'd, I can be pretty sure that that means that we just didn't find the message. Don't tell Let's, but I took a... Don't tell Let's? Who in the half of a full bag of onions is Let's? I've been trying to find fun ways of saying like what's... Don't tell Quest. Gotcha. I'm Let's now. You spell my name wrong every fucking time. I've seen so many crazy ones. I think you're the one who did Keist as well. Or maybe that was Cassie. Either you or Cassie kept saying Keist. Also, Cassie can't spell for the fucking life of her. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Match guild channel. This. We're not going to do this expect error anymore. And we're going to do, this is going to be error. All this bullshit nonsense. And then okay. Is I think we're trying to get the message. Yeah, we have the message here. Okay, message is going to be this thing. And is this not right? Oh, I think I need one more over here. Yeah. And then the last thing we're going to do is error of just any, if we just don't actually have an error that we know how to handle, we're just going to return error. Return error. Or actually, What is this returning? Yeah, no, it has to be this way. Oh, because this is a Threnody error. Okay, I see. Box new. Because we're returning a different kind of error. Yeah, is that right? That feels weird. It feels weird to do it this way. I almost want to do it like this instead. Like that. That works. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to have an existing message. And this message is actually just to be contents. Contents. Let message equals. Now, here's the weird part. If we have a message, we may need to. We're just gonna have it. But if we don't have a message, we actually have to be able to await it. I'm so sleepy. I'm blinking one eye at a time. Like, you're doing one of these? Oh, hold on. Let me flip. Like that? You doing one of those? I suppose if you are doing that, I can't. That's not. I'm not being able to help you with that. Future. Ready? How do I return a? There's got to be a ready future. Let's look for future. Ah, there we go. That's what I want. Ready of message. Dot ID. And then at the end of this, I'm going to put dot await. With that, and this is just going to be an OK. Oh, that needs to be the opposite. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I can make this async. Async. CTX dot I want to send a message into the channel that's just a placeholder. CTX dot send. No. CTX. Do we have a channel somewhere? We don't. We want this, so let chan equals CTX guild channel await unwrap message. So I'm gonna do this. DT M. Match chan.message. That's pretty good. Okay. So now instead, chan.send message. CTX. Code view. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay, what we did was we pulled this CTX guild channel off of this arm, so we had access to Chan. And then we set this ready. Okay. Essentially, what we're doing is we're trying to turn this match arm into a message ID, and the message ID has to be a message that already exists. So if we don't have a message that exists, we have to set one up. We have to make a placeholder message. And so I think it's what's this thing? Create message. Create message. New dot content, and it's just going to be placeholder. Dot await dot await dot ooh, there's an error of some sort. I thought this would be right. I'm going to unwrap this for now, but that's wrong. Dot ID. Or actually, what does this return? Does this return the message that I sent? It does return a result of message. That's pretty good. Why the extra async? The one on line 46, this guy right here. Because this block has this await right here. And we have to pull the ID out. Which actually the reality is we don't. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do this. The function is already async though. Yeah, but this block isn't. The block is not async on its own. So if I remove this, it's going to tell me that await is not allowed. So this await is actually like valid. And it's going to say the match arms have incompatible types no matter what. But if I go over here, it says if I take this async out, it's going to tell me that this await is not allowed. But I think it won't tell me that until I get this right. So instead, I'll do this for now. I'm just going to return unit, which means I could just do okay unit. Oh, no, I just need to do okay. Yeah, so because it's expecting a future, You know what? You might be right. Let me just look at this. Or does this actually need to be ready? Return. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You know what? You're right. Let me think about this real quick. Let's just deal with that. Let's just see what I got here. I'm going to say that this is just going to be okay. Message. For now, which is going to give me a result. So the result for sure is going to have to. Well, maybe not. Let's just see what happens here. We're just going to work this out. Dot unwrap. You might be right. I might have overcomplicated that. And then this return should actually be fine. Huh. Thank you. That was correct. That was absolutely correct. I don't need that. What I will do is I'm going to have to pass that up. I don't know if I can do it in here. I can do it in here. Not bad. Not bad, Future Highway. I don't need the ID. Okay. So now I'm going to do message dot edit CTX and edit message new dot contents mute. Oh wait. Okay. There we go. See, I thought that would have to be an async block, but the entire function is async, and I guess it just kind of picks that up. Yeah, I think I overcomplicated that. I appreciate that. Cool. All right, let's test it out. I actually think we're going to get it right this time. Cargo run. As always, we're going to be in the Discord server. We can test this out. We have a ton of messages in our test channel. Schedule. Whoopsie. Let's just take a look, see if it works. Oh, it does work. The other thing I could do is move this edit only into the only into the thing. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this actually gets the correct message if I'm looking for the correct message. So let's find the message ID I just dropped. Copy message ID. And we'll post that in here. Dope. And obviously I won't want to make it a constant. This is just for testing. But this should actually update the message now with a new number. It won't be 72 anymore. 72 is fucking old hat, dude. We're not even thinking. Look, we were different people when we picked 72. All right, I think it's time for a change, right? It's time for like a new kind of number. I don't know what I want yet. What do you think we should pick? Fucking oops. How? Let's do another debugging of our error. Why don't we? Error pretty print debug. Close. Unknown message, huh? Oh, now it's gonna die though. Oh, I know what happened. We didn't select the message in our purge. Oops. So forget this. This is exactly what I thought might happen. What I'm really surprised at though is that it should have waited. The purge should have been done before it like finished. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem either. Let's you know. Message ID. Should delete message ID. We want to delete it if the message ID is not equal to message ID. So it managed to delete the message here. Like after we had picked it back up. I think that's a problem. I wonder if there's a way for like when you delete messages that it should wait for it to be finished. I'm kind of curious. I wonder if there's like a way to know that purge is finished. Because I think what happened is that we had a bit of a race condition because Discord returned a response before it had actually finished doing the operation we wanted it to do. So we wanted it to purge a number of messages. And instead of purging them and then returning, instead of purging them and then returning, I think it started the purge operation, returned, we found the message, and then when we tried to edit the message, it turned out not to be editable because it didn't exist. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because otherwise, if we didn't have it, it would have hit this error. All right. Let's try it again. Now that we actually check the message is correct. Oh, you know what? Our message is going to be wrong. So I'm going to need to select the correct message. I'll just use this unknown message one that we have already. That's right. And keep going. Honestly, this would be easier if I just like selected the message using the thing. We're just gonna put a bunch of crap messages in here. Don't care. And then schedule. Okay, that worked. We did it. And now let's try it again. This is the trick, right? Before, what had happened is that if you did this purge, it would lock up if you try to do it again. And I'm confident that it's a problem with PyCord and not with Discord's core API. Absolutely works again. I'm gonna copy and paste this. Keeps working. Just works and works and works and works. It means that on PyCord that the bot is not being properly the bot HTTP lock that the bot sets up and acquires before it does a purge does not get released when it should. That may be because the purge is potentially a background operation like we just saw here. I can't confirm that that's what happened. It is a race condition. And, you know, I don't want to be racist. So, I don't know what we're going to do about that. I think another thing we want to do is I should just... Well, I'm going to run this from a different point of view. So I'm not really worried about that. But we do have the core idea behind our bot now. This does work. Okay. I'm going to turn off ads. I don't think we're going to get any more raids or anything like that. And I'd rather y'all didn't have to watch ads. I fucking hate ads so much. I hate watching them. I hate that, like, I deliver them to people who want to watch me do whatever I'm doing. That infuriates me. I know that, like, I'm an affiliate now and I can make money off Twitch, and I get that, and I'm fine with that. I would love to reject ad money and say, like, I don't want ad money. I'm just not going to get any ad money. But unfortunately, they make much more money off of ads than the streamer does. Even, like, for the high-paying partners where they're offering, like, 70-30 splits. Still, they make a lot more money off of ads. They say they give you, like, a 55% revenue share, but because they're putting ads on, like, so many people and just doing it all over the place, the amount of money that a streamer makes from ads is minute, but the amount of money Twitch makes overall from ads is massive. It's probably like their biggest thing. Like if you took away subscriptions, if you took away, I guess subscriptions is how you pay to not have ads. But if you took away like stuff like bits where they cover a charge and the other things that you pay for on Twitch, I think Twitch would just be like, actually, now that I think about it, everything except bits is paying to remove ads. There's Turbo, there's subscriptions, And then there's like premium subscriptions, but it's still just a subscription. Yeah. Twitch is an ad platform. Of course it is. That's the business model that you would use. That's just interesting. Okay. The scheduling thing is just about done. Now the really interesting part is to build the same thing I built in Python, which builds the schedule message just the way I like it. Just the way that sexy gender neutral term for a parent likes it. I didn't want to say daddy or mommy. One time we got 5 gay Tinder ads in a row. Even just stating facts theory, like you fucking. I think you have you just have such a way of like saying what happened to you. You say yes, chef. No, I'm not saying daddy. Like, I'm not saying daddy to that. Like, I was saying that's how gender neutral parent me likes it. It'd be calling myself. And I'm not calling someone daddy. I'm not calling me daddy. I'm not daddy at all. And I don't want to be mommy. I don't even like the parental thing. I take the entire thing back. I reject everything I've ever said. Okay. Yeah, I mean, someone else would say yes, chef, to me. That's like, I can kind of get behind that. It's not that I don't love that. Like, that's not my thing really. To do the what's it called? Oh crap! It's not my thing to do the. Holy shit! Where was my brain? Holy fuck! Oh, the like subservient thing. I don't mind like the dominance and submissive stuff. Like that can be kind of fun, but like subservient, no. No. Okay. What can we do next? I think the next thing we can do is I want to get rid of these two things, this guild ID and the message ID. You only do it for the meme? Yeah. Well, because I know, like, especially in like the communities that we run in, because we're all I think we all know a bunch of us know each other from the or got together from the femboy community somehow, and like, I've been working with Cow for a long time. Oh God, when did I join Cow's team? I think I joined the mod team May of last year. Yeah, I did actually. I joined Cow's. I showed up in April. I joined the mod team May of last year, and I think I became an admin in like August or September. So like, like I went from like not ever having been there to running, like being part of the like running the mod team, pretty quickly. I love Cow. He's a beautiful, wonderful boy. Cow does not like me. I don't think he doesn't. I don't think he dislikes you. I think you're just. I think you're just a silly goose. And he likes to pretend to hate you. He likes to pretend to hate a lot of people. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. This is going to be a poise. Okay. Poise has some useful stuff for taking in description selected user. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. We want the name of, we want the description, and so it's not even that. We just actually, this is just going to be picked up. So description equals, and that's going to be description, thank you, of selected message. And then message is going to be a option of Serenity message. This is actually exactly what I want. Okay, so message ID is going to be message dot there's got to be a thing where I can like get or insert. I think that's what I want. Get or insert. It's just gonna be 0, right? No. How am I gonna do this? I want. Oh, you know what it's gonna be? Message dot map. Or yeah, there we go. The default is gonna be 0, and it's gonna be message dot ID. Oh, no. I could just do x dot ID. Is that right? Expected integer found message ID. Oh, yeah. Message ID 1, I guess. That's not going to be right. Let me think about this. That should be over 1. That's a little weird. Let me think. Okay. It's actually going to be... I'm going to get it all the way to a Boolean instead. So message dot map, or default is should delete. But if there is a message, it's going to be x and x dot ID is not equal to message ID. There we go. There we fucking go. Oh, cool. It does it anyway. Do I actually need to go get the message now? Because I have the message. I think it's actually... I think this will actually work. I'm going to do it this way. Mute. And then here's what we're going to do. And it's actually it's going to be message.asRef. Whoopsie. As ref. And then in this case, we're not going to actually be looking for the error. We just want to know if there is no message, we want to do this. So let's get rid of all of this stuff. Let's do this and get rid of, what's everything? And then, okay. Let mute message equals match message, and in this case this actually doesn't need to be mute. Oh, I found the bug. No, fuck, didn't get him. If the message exists, we're just going to say we're just going to return it. In the case that it's an error, or no, it's not going to be okay, actually. It's going to be some, and if it's none, we're going to want to go fetch it. And that's where we want to do this. That, I think, is correct. As long as we don't ever delete this message, that's never going to become a problem. Where we try and like use this message and edit it. I wish we could verify that it exists, but that's not very useful because like it could get deleted in between now and then. Even if it's not a race condition, even if it's like, you know, if I put a wait in here for like 10 seconds and then said, okay, purge, wait 10 seconds, now update that message that should exist already. I could just manually delete the message in that time, and that's not very useful. So I can see why there's not a verify, but it's a little silly. Use imports. And this guild ID, I don't want it to exist anymore. I also don't want to do this register in guild. So I'm going to go down to print line 5GD. We don't use this anymore. So I'm actually going to okay. And I have one last thing I want to do before I do this. So we didn't actually implement the part where we build the schedule message. That will take some time. It took me a lot of time the first time I did it. We do have a lot of prior art on how to do it though, so I'm okay with that. I want to test that this works the way I think it's supposed to. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to move this message edit into this bit. So I want to take this and move it into here. And instead of doing placeholder, contents. And just do that. Yeah. Cannot borrow X is mutable. X should be mutable. Neat. Okay. That's a little bit cleaner. I appreciate that. What's next? There was one more thing I want to do. Oh, I want to build a register. So the last thing I want to do is build a prefix command called register. Poise command prefix command. Perfect. Async fn register ctx. Here's the context. Result error and open that up. I want to do a what's going on here? Oh. Because it takes ownership. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. I want to make sure that an admin is requesting this. So I want to see if Poise has a way of validating, like, stuff like, okay, framework. No, that's not that. Slash argument. No. Trinity prelude reply prefix argument context. Also, Poise is a stat in Dark Souls. Fuck yeah, dude. Love that. Unit testing, registering slash commands, create and configure framework, showcase many features. Ah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Required permissions. That's what I'm looking for. That's great. This is the exact thing I was looking for. So let's do... well, actually, let's make sure we know how we're doing it. Prefix command. Okay, so this is just another thing. Required permissions equals administrator. Big ounce and abomination. Holy God. Okay. So ctx dot channel id dot register. Okay, so that's our okay, let's just, I'm gonna get to the thing I actually want to do. CTX dot register. Oh, how do we do it? How did we do the register thing? Poise built-ins register. Gotcha. And where were we at? Poise built-ins register application commands buttons CTX dot wait. Okay. I'm guessing it does it in the thing, and then we'll have to add register to our list of commands. Okay. Yeah, it's because it's spelled wrong. Okay. Now we start it up. This should work. This will be our last thing we're going to do. And then I think we'll see if we can raid someone. We have a couple people around in our chat, so we want to be nice and share that love, especially since we got raided. Okay, bot dev test. I'm just going to do it in here. Yeah. Okay, that works. And that means that uptime should work. Can we raid Solus? No. That's probably not going to happen. Super. This was great. We did it. We did a ton of stuff. And we did it all kind of live. Like, I didn't preset any of this stuff. So let's go over it. Let's go over what we did. Let's start by... First thing, I want to fold all this code. I don't remember how to do it, though. So I'm just going to, yeah. Edit, selection view. Appearance. No. I know that there's like a fold everything, but I can't remember what it is. Okay. Okay. Let's go over what we did. First things first, we got a framework running. We got our framework running to start the bot, just period. We did that in here. We loaded our .env file. We got our token, which I already had. I did sort of have that set up, but you just need to have an application for this. That's not the part I'm trying to show you. We set up our intents. We also confirmed that they actually work. We created a framework. The framework has these commands. We set the prefix for which command we want, or for our commands. We track the time we started. And then we built our client, assigned it the framework, and it started. That part was actually really simple. We just run it. As far as our commands, we first started with our uptime command, where we take the current times, we take the timestamp of the time that we started, and we pass that directly into, we take the number of seconds since the Unix epoch which is how Discord operates its timestamps and says, we tell it, hey, display this in relative time, for example, say 10 seconds ago or 30 seconds ago, and update it continuously using Discord's built-in stuff. That's an ephemeral response. Super. That should be at the top. And then we send it. Schedule. This is an interesting one. We set it to ephemeral. We purge all of our existing messages. Purge actually should be... Oh, it is a separate function. We purge all of our stuff by getting the current channel that we're in. Getting all the messages that are in this channel. Filtering only on the ones that are that should be deleted, using our should delete new type. Make sure that there's at least one message to delete, otherwise we shouldn't do this, because this will turn an error. We pass that down to delete messages. After we purge in schedule, we create our placeholder message, which is just says first message in some random integer, so we know that when it's updated. We find out the guild channel we're in. This is actually... that could go in there. And this unwrap is an option. It shouldn't be an option. But whatever. I'm fine with it. We build our message. If we have a message to work on, we edit it. If we don't have a message to work on, we create one with the contents we want it to have. Then we post a second message, because that's sort of how we are setting up our... When we build a schedule, we want two messages. We want one which is the schedule message, and then another which is going to be the ping message that tells everybody that the schedule is there. We can also register our commands. So now we have a way of, instead of having to hard code which guild we're in, an administrator can say, hey, I want to register all the commands for this application. We should also register them globally, but I think it's less important for the moment. Ideally, you want to register all of them globally, but then if we were to bring this to other guilds, which I don't think we will, then we do that. And we did all of that today. 4 hours. Honestly, not bad. I mean, it's not a ton of code. I never claimed to be a fast coder. I'm certainly not, in fact. But I'm not terrible at it. We get stuff done. I did get caught by Future Highway on that async thing. Thank you very much for that. That would have bugged me for way too long. I really appreciate getting involved on that one. And that's it. We did it. We built our bot from scratch today. It does everything except the actual building of the schedule message. That's going to take some time, and I want to make that a different module just because I want to keep that separate. And then I think I want to use this Rust bot instead. It's a little bit harder, but I gotta be honest, I enjoy it more. I like this over Python. I love Python, but I prefer this. Python's easier for sure. But it's also easier to get caught and do the wrong thing. That was a lot of fun. This was a great stream. This is the stream I needed after the, This is the stream I needed after the, after last week. Last week was rough. But we're doing it. We're going. Super cool. I'm going to close up. I'm not going to close this up just yet. I'll leave that for now. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna raid someone because we have a couple people here, and I love when I can like spread that around. Let me find someone who's programming, because that's what I'm doing. Software and game development. Let's see who's around. Let's look in the thing. I want to see if I can find someone who's like
not that bad.
LGBT. Just because I like not necessarily exclusively keeping it in the family, but I do love to like show them the love. Yeah, one here. I see a couple people. I should really update my tags for when I'm doing this too, because people, I don't think they... Let's see. All right, I'm gonna pick this person. How do I get to their thing? I'm just gonna... There we go.
For the follow questing.
They got...
Sorry, I'm on God.
They got my name right.
Weird because I'm tired as hell. I appreciate the follow. I understand that was the weirdest thank you for the follow intonation in the world, and it's because I'm very, very tired.
All right, we're gonna hit the we're gonna hit it quick because I think they might be ending kind of soon, and I want to give them the raid before they go. Thank you everyone for being here. Mwah. Thank you. I appreciate this so much. I had a great time. Thank you to everyone who's around. Please follow. Please join my Discord. Damn it, Krister. I fucking... and also, the raid message, as always, is we're on a quest. We're doing music. We're probably going to do... I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do on Monday. I will have to figure this out. I might do another coding stream. I might do a game stream. I might skip it. Oh, no. Monday's no stream. I'll be working. Okay. All right, we're going out. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. We're bouncing. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.